Hey guys, welcome to the Trash Picture Show. Today I am doing yet another tag, and today's tag is from Mark's Monsters. It's the I'm a Gamer tag. It's 6 really cool questions, all centered around video gaming. And if you haven't checked out Mark's channel, do, because he is a sound out, absolute gent of a guy, lovely guy. He's been on my channel and I've been on streams, having a crack. Really, really loves his horror movies, absolutely adores his video games, obviously. And yeah, it's a really cool tag. I'm going to be tagging people at the end, but if you're watching this and you want to participate, work away. All I ask is that you include a link to Mark's channel in the description, because it's nice that the creator of the tag gets a bit of recognition as well. So first question is, what is your favorite console? That's easy for me. I'm going to go with the Sony PlayStation. While it isn't the first console that I owned or played, mainly it was mainly mine. We originally had an NES, which was belonged to my brother, and I remember playing the PlayStation and thinking, Jesus Christ, this is fucking witchcraft when it first came out. And the back catalogue of games were amazing. You had obviously all the Tomb Raider games, you had like Crash Bandicoot, the Tekken games, Resident Evil. Jesus Christ, I adored Resi 2. I played the shit out of that game. I like Leon Scenario A, Claire Scenario B, Claire Scenario A, Leon Scenario B. Like, again, the longevity of that game alone was fantastic. Obviously, you had the likes of, I think I've said Tekken already, but you've also had Metal Gear Solid, which, Jesus Christ, the fact Hideo Kojima got that working on that console the way he did was fantastic. Now, keep in mind, Metal Gear was out for the original NES, but he done a 3D, fully interactive version that had some fantastic AI and some fantastic mechanics, and just playing that game, it was like, what the fuck? It's an absolute awesome game. Again, Alien Trilogy, Alien Resurrection, The Lost World, Jurassic Park. I love that game as well. Bastard Hard game, Abe's Odyssey. The list could go on. I still have all my PS1 games in their jewel cases, and I still fire them up every once in a while. I have a soft spot for the likes of the PS2 and the Xbox 360, but if I had to just say it straight out, the Sony PlayStation 1 is my favorite console of all time. Question 2. What character do you hate the most in video games? I'm going to have to go with that absolute fuck nugget of a character from Halo, Master Master Chief, or as I like to call him, Master Chef. Um, I don't see everyone's reverence or love for the character. He's just a fucking dullard. He's boring. He's OP. He's just like, everyone surrounding him is far more interesting. Now, maybe the developers wanted him to be a POV character, but as a result, you have this fan base that has this reverence for this character, and it's just like, oh yeah, cool. He rode a bomb down to a fucking planet, or oh yeah, he took on like the flood and shit, and it's like, he's just boring. He's just dull. Like, I think I'm one of the few people that enjoyed playing as the Arbiter in Halo 2. I mean, for fuck's sake, he was voiced by Keith David. Like, I would have played a bunch of the fucking Halo games if he got to play as the Arbiter. But yeah, I just find Master Chef just fucking boring. He's just a pain in the arse, dull character. I mean, the Doomslayer. People will argue now and be like, "Oh, Doomslayer has way more character." The Doomslayer's character is put out in his actions. I mean, like, as as Master Chief ever ripped off a demon's jaw and shoved a grenade down its throat. I mean, like, Doomslayer has way more personality. Most of it being hatred, but more personality in that fucking dullard Master Chef. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Master Chief. He's a fucking dope of a character. Question 3. Favorite character from any video game? I'm gonna have to go with Solid Snake, David Hayter. I love the character. It's like if James Bond was mixed with Snake Plissken. You've got this gruff, gritty anti-hero who has who has to save the world, and like he's having an existential crisis, and he's just like, "War is hell, Colonel Campbell. Why am I doing this? Why did you bring me out? Does it matter who I save? Am I just continuing the cycle of death?" It's just the dude. I love how over the top the character is. Like, as I was saying, Master Chief, there's nothing interesting about him. There's a fucking bag full of badgers going on with a Solid Snake in the original Metal Gear Solid, and I just love him. I like how fucking cool he is. I like how he has to take on like an entire Shadow Moses island on his own, and like I think he smuggled a pack of cigarettes in his arse as well. I was like, what the fuck? But I just like that character. He's just a cool, silly character from a bygone era. I think the newer games have lost that. They're not as fun because Snake was fun. You could hit the Kodak system and be chatting away to Maylene and Colonel Campbell, and just like they'd give you shit, and he'd be like, "Oh, but is this really the choice that needs to be made?" I just love the character, and again, David Hayter's voice work on that is absolutely perfect. Question 4: the hardest boss you've ever fought in a game. Um, I'm going to go with a boss from a PC game, although it was ported to the PlayStation. I'm going to go with Nihiliat from Half-Life. That fucking empty-headed Buddha baby caused me no end of trouble trying to kill him. So you travel to the XN dimension, and you fight the kind of weird testicly bull yoke, and you end up against Nihiliat, and you have to jump on these undulating pads that will throw you into the air, and use your grenade launcher on your rifle to drop grenades into his open head. I think it opens periodically, and blow him up from the inside. And it's just so fucking hard. And the timing. There's probably people out there laughing, going, "What the fuck? Who's this noob?" I just, he was a bastard. I got him for a finish, but I think it was a good year and a half before I like, there was times where I just like, fuck this, and I went away from the game. I came back a couple of months later. I'll give it a go. Still no luck, and I think I got it eventually. But Nihiliat, that fucking monstrous Buddha of a fuck, I had to lamp a bunch of grenades into him to kill him. He was just a pain in the arse to kill. So yeah, the last boss in Half-Life. Question 5: what game really got you into gaming? So I had a console when I was younger, but it was when I was younger, the first console we got was the NES, but that was mainly my brother's, and I was very young at the time, maybe 5 or 6 when we had it, and I don't think I grasped kind of playing video games at that age right. But then when I reached about the age of 9 or 10, I used to do speech and drama, and I stayed at my aunt's house, and my uncle, well, I think he worked at either Intel or something at the time. He had a PC, and he always had games on it. And one game he had was Doom, the original OG Doom. I fucking adored that. The music, the monsters, and it's what gave me my love of first-person games. I've played a lot of first-person games, and while some people might say Doom is dated, to me it still holds up. It's very rudimentary in its gameplay. It's basically go into a room, kill everything, go to the next room, find a key, leave the area. But it's a formula that works and has been followed through. Like they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there's no really big need to fix Doom. I mean, the newer Doom game is fantastic, and I do enjoy it, and I loved it. They're taking it, but without the original Doom, and Wolfenstein, obviously, the Wolfenstein came out before Doom, but I think they perfected the FPS genre with Doom, and yeah, that was the game that got me into gaming. And the last question is question 6: if you could be any character in a game, who would you pick? This is hard because it was a toss up between James Marston or Geralt of Riviera. And I'm going to go with James Marston. I know Geralt gets to get with like all the fucking sexy ladies, including Yennefer here, but Marston, I just liked the character. And he kicked ass, and it was just, he was to me the perfect mix of a John Huston and Sam Peckinpah Western hero. Like, he was jaded, he realized his time was coming to an end, but there was a sense of honor. For example, like, they didn't do the GTA thing where you could go off and sleep with like the whores at the whorehouse. Marston was married. He was doing the mission to save his son and his wife, and I like that character. He had a code, and it was interesting because when I'm not going to give it too much away, but later in the game he plays his son, and certain events that transpired when I ended up playing his son was like, right, I'm going to be a prick because John tried to do things the right way, and it didn't really pan out for him. But yeah, John Marston, really cool character. I just wanted to be a cowboy anyway, going around on horseback, fucking using 6-shooters and doing quick draws and robbing trains and fighting kind of banditos and stuff. John Marston kicks arse. My favorite character, hands down. So yeah, that was Mark's Monsters. I'm a Gamer tag. His 6 questions, awesome questions, and the people I'm going to tag are The Soulless Trenchcoat, Rhapsody Review. I don't know if he'll do video games, but I said fuck it. I'll give him a bell. Jen and Christian from Jen's Reviews from the Grave, and the Night Watch crew. Which if Night Watch, Killian and Coriander are watching this, take part if you want. No obligation, but I don't know if you're big into gaming, but do take part. And the legend that is Sean Erskine. So yeah, that was a really fun tag. Big thanks to Mark for tagging me. And again, if you decide to do this tag, please leave a link to Mark's channel in this description. I've been the Trash Picture Show, and yeah, have a good one. Take care. Bye now.